I'm here at this conference because I think a lot of us, even though we're from very different walks of life and professions, want to see our children who will go on to become adults be happy, healthy, and reach the best of their potential. And I think from my point of view as a holistic medical doctor who embraces chiropractic care and beyond, I would like to share with people the idea of how we can integrate our message and our feeling in here with people out there. And so that's my main message. And for me, what I was asked to speak about this weekend was the idea of having a holistic medical practice that includes not only primary care, but homeopathy, chiropractic care, midwifery, pediatrics, etc., and how we can integrate that and find the best of both worlds. Because when we're here, we're all being fed, we're all becoming inspired, but then we must now take this wonderful information and then share this message with others. And I think one of the seeds that I wanted to plant is the way in which I've gone out to share that message. My first visit with many of my patients is nearly 90 minutes. So I make that time. And obviously it's not for every practitioner, but because I enjoy people and the story that they have to tell, and I'm interested in them and their children, adults and children living better lives, it's important to me. Although there's times, of course, that we spend a short amount of time, and it ends up being, at the end of the day, the quality of time, that one-on-one, rather than maybe spending hours at a time too. But what it goes down to is then you have to be, I think, sincere, and also what type of prescriptions or suggestions are you going to make, because they're coming to us to ask these questions. One of the things that I spoke about this weekend on the idea of integrating is the idea of being able to adjust, which is very, very chiropractic word, and that we need to adjust to the people that we speak to, because not everyone is going to be like-minded and like-hearted to us. And the more I feel that we can adjust, and somebody might be willing to just come one step to us, instead of arriving at that person who maybe is more cautious, whether we're a DC or an MD or we don't have any degree at all, the way in which it's presented is very important. And I just feel that we must adjust how we present things, and it depends on the person too, and to be sensitive to that. The more forceful we are, as it would be with chiropractic, I think that's going to be harsher on other people, and they're not going to hear our message. And at the same time, chiropractors talk about the idea of rigidity and wanting to increase the flow of energy in certain areas of the body. But we also want to do that for our heart and our mind as well. So to not be all one-sided, and that's why I want to try and find the best of both worlds so that message will get out to more people. Instead of an apple a day keeps the doctor away, maybe an organic apple a day keeps us having to go on prescription medicine every day. Because with holistic practitioners, whether a chiropractor or an MD or naturopath, that we also encourage and foster that relationship between patient and practitioner, meaning that you don't need to stay away from us. We want to foster a relationship that is friendly, so that people don't want to avoid coming to us, but actually will come to us for encouragement, inspiration, and whether it be to get an adjustment or even a remedy or suggestion on nutrition. These are things that will help promote our health along the way, because I have definitely verified that we can't do everything alone and on our own, and that's what our holistic practitioners are there for as well. You're bringing up a really interesting point, because right now it is October 2010, And there is, all over the news, the idea of an epidemic of pertussis, or whooping cough, in our state of California. And honestly, I'll tell you what the epidemic is. On another side, it's that, number one, there's a lot of dissatisfaction and lack of being content, not only amongst doctors, but with patients as well. And just to start off with doctors, I was having dinner with an old friend of mine from medical school who I hadn't seen since then. And we were at the dinner table with all of our kids, and he found out that my 12th grader is actually interested in pursuing medicine, most probably. And he was shocked. He said, "Lauren, haven't you tried to talk your son out of going into medical school? It's so awful." And he just really insinuated that he really has a dislike for medicine. And I think so many doctors share that point of view, because they ended up becoming a slave towards a business as an insurance company. And coupled with the idea that a lot of doctors are not very good business people, and ended up the ones that I see consistently, most of the doctors I know, not a lot, but most of the doctors I know, have found themselves to have financial issues. And they end up having to work so much harder just to make ends meet, because they made poor choices financially, either within their personal lives or in their offices. So that's one part. The other epidemic that I'm seeing now is patient dissatisfaction. And often it starts during pregnancy, and especially during childbirth. It's very rare for me to find a patient who has had a satisfying hospital birth, which is so unfortunate, because birth is such a milestone for a woman, as well as for one of the beginnings for our children as well. So there's that. On the other hand, we're not having as many home births and birth center births, but I very rarely meet someone who didn't have a satisfying natural home or birth center birth. It's not to say that you can't have a lovely birth in a hospital, but the odds are against you. So there's that point. The other idea is that we do have insurance issues now, and some of my patients we do take insurance with, and it's been a very positive experience. So because I have found my niche and I'm able to practice the way that feels right for me, and I'm able to use my talents and my interests, that I have harmony in what I do. So I feel very blessed. As far as my colleagues as medical doctors, I'll tell you what I see, that there might be a little bit of interest in being more open-minded to holistic medicine, to chiropractic care, and for only one reason. It's because it's patient-driven. That I don't find that my colleagues who are physicians have much interest in holistic medicine, but their patients are their clients and customers, and it's driven by that, honestly. But the sense that I have from this incredible and an inspiring weekend with ICPA is that there is a new generation of chiropractors who are emerging. And I had a sense that these are our new general practitioners of the future, because we are speaking about not only preventative care in general, but the idea of pregnancy, of birth. And because chiropractors have so much success in treating many ailments and conditions in addition to prevention, I see that there's a very big future ahead for them. And not only that, there's the enthusiasm and the desire and the faith in what they do. Well, I think there's definitely a small movement, at least, of people who are interested in going back, and I mean way back, to the days of the general practitioner who knew all the family, who treated all the family. I see chiropractors having that ability. We all have our strengths and our weaknesses, and as we work together and come together to conferences like this, we start to see that, gosh, they have a lot to offer, and we have a lot to offer, and hopefully there'll be more of that interaction and integrating the best of both worlds. The way I would word it is that Mother Nature has an incredible intelligence. There's awe there, and there's a certain pace in which life moves. And if I could encourage anyone, like my 12th grader who is planning on going to medical school, if I could encourage him to be open to additional possibilities, to be patient, and to also listen to that inner voice inside, then he will receive much more than beyond the walls of any university.